You know what? I think it's the worst feeling in the world when you discover that your favourite TV show is getting cancelled. But you know what's even worse than that is when you build up all of these expectations for the ending and they just kind of let you down and it feels completely unresolved.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you get closure and other times you just don't. So you know what? We've compiled the top 10 TV shows that need to come back. But before we get into this list, I just want to tell you guys about our new channel, Life's Biggest Questions. If you guys want to check out the channel, check out the cards right over here.
So we're still fairly new on the channel, but we've already got tens of thousands of subscribers and it's growing more and more every single day, and you could be one of the first 100,000, 500,000, 1 million subscribers, who knows? So go and check it out right now. Okay, getting right into our number 10 now, we have Breaking Bad. It was one of the most popular TV shows of all time, running from 2008 to 2013. Fans of the show just fell in love with Walter White and Jesse Pinkman as they entered the world of meth making, drug dealing, and all the dark problems that came with that. I won't spoil it for those of you that haven't watched it, but most people were happy with the show's ending. Even so, many Breaking Bad fans got so attached to the show and the characters that they just want to see more of that world. Did a certain character really die? Did another certain character live happily ever after? You know who I mean? I think they may have made a show that was just too good to end.
Okay, so this is a really good show, and did you know that the producers were actually offered $1 million per episode to continue, but he just didn't want to continue it?
That's crazy. I'll give it a go, let me write it.
So aside from that show, Dawson's Creek makes its way into this list at number 9. Do you guys remember that show? I don't wanna wait! Okay, for this show to come back on air, I was gonna sing the whole thing, but my singing is not up to par. Okay, and I promise you guys, I won't sing anymore for this video. Dawson's Creek is an American teen drama about the lives of a small group of friends beginning in high school and continuing into college. It had 6 seasons with an impressive 128 episodes. In the series finale, things jumped 5 years ahead and we get to see how things turned out. It just seems like it was a convenient way to end the series. Instead, they should do a reboot of Dawson's Creek so that we can see how Joey's decisions to pick Pacey turned out and whether or not Dawson got a big movie deal with his idol Spielberg, because he has like the Spielberg posters all over his bedroom and he talks all about Spielberg.
Alright, moving on to the number 8 spot now, and we have The Wire. The Wire has been voted best TV show of all time many times. It ran for 6 years from 2002 to 2008 and covered crime and the fight against it in the city of Baltimore, United States. Every single season followed a different angle on the topic of drugs, violence and law enforcement. One season showed it from the drug dealer's perspective, then the police's perspective, and even the seaport system that was blamed for turning a blind eye to drug trafficking. It was universally praised for being honest, realistic, complex and of course incredibly addictive to watch. Many people compared it to a book, and if that's the case, fans of The Wire have always wanted to turn just one more page.
Okay, so what's next? Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and she slays her way into number 7. They should definitely have a comeback to this show. So I think we should take this 90s show and reboot it into 2017. This show aired from March 1997 to May of 2003. And for those of you guys who don't remember the show, it follows the protagonist Buffy Summers, who is a vampire slayer. She battles vampire demons and other dark forces as well. This series was immensely popular and it was pretty successful. I just think this would be an amazing comeback, especially now with all of the CGI or special effects that could be incorporated in the show. Not to mention vampires and supernatural themes has made an enormous comeback, so Buffy the Vampire Slayer should capitalize on that.
Alright, we have reached the number 6 spot now, and we have Cheers. Along with the likes of Seinfeld and Friends, Cheers was the definitive New York sitcom for fans around the world. It ran for an impressive 11 years from 1982 to 1993, which is amazing when you realise that almost every single scene in it was just set in the same bar. It was just a group of friends who talked, drank and got into hilarious situations that would only ever happen in a sitcom. For over a decade, fans got so attached to the characters and their lives that it became almost like a soap opera. It's been about 25 years now since it ended, and people still talk about how they'd love to see just one more episode.
Dexter slashed his way into number 5. This is a crime drama mystery that aired from October 2006 to September of 2013. That was set in Miami following Dexter, who leads a secret paranormal life as a serial killer but also works as a forensic technician for the police. I think it's safe to say that the audience felt cheated in a sense from the series finale and that we demanded it to be corrected. I mean, come on, Dexter is now a lumberjack living in a secluded area. Dexter has to go back to his old ways, old habits pick up. Now this is unacceptable and it just doesn't seem to work. We were all seriously invested invested into this TV show, and a reboot, it just makes sense. And you know what? I think it might be coming.
Okay, next up at the number 4 spot now, we have Curb Your Enthusiasm. A year after Seinfeld ended, one of the TV show writers, Larry David, started his very own show that was loosely based on his own life, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Now, if you guys haven't seen it and you love awkward comedies such as The Office or Seinfeld, you need to check this one out. Every episode centers around Larry overcoming an awkward situation, often his own fault. All the actors and celebrity guests are given no scripts at all, only the outline of the scene. That's one of the reasons why it always feels so natural, so funny, and why so many fans of the show just want it back.
Number 3 takes us over to Friends. This is a very popular American sitcom that is aired from September of 1994 to May 2004. Lasting an incredible 10 seasons, the show revolved around 6 friends living in Manhattan, and it was full of comedic jokes, emotions, and relatable scenarios. Even though this series finale was full of closure, and it really tied everything together, it would be incredible to see these friends and to see what they've been up to. We want to know how Monica and Chandler are doing as parents. We want to see Rachel and Ross' relationship and whether or not they have been on many more breaks, and of course we need to know, did Joey ever become a mainstream celebrity? Netflix needs to pick up this reboot and make it happen already.
Next up at number 2 now, we have the legendary The Office. There's always been a fierce debate about which is better, the UK or US version of The Office, but no matter which version you love, everyone wanted more of them when they ended. The US version ran from 2005 to 2013, a lot longer than the British original, but all those extra seasons and episodes didn't make it any easier when the show finally threw in the towel and ended. Fans came for the awkward comedy and to laugh at the boss, but they left in tears when they had to say goodbye to the couples, characters, and a very boring office they thought they'd never fall in love with. Oh, I'm so soppy, aren't I?
And finally, coming in number 1 is Seinfeld. We have to include this big show on this list. This is an American sitcom that aired from 1989 to 1998, and it was a show about nothing. Back in 2002, TV guide named Seinfeld the greatest television program of all time, and I kinda agree with that. It's so funny. I feel like this show could have went on for years and years and years, and no one would ever get tired of it. I mean, I still enjoy watching old episodes even though I've seen them a million times. The show was pure gold because of its comedic brilliance, and I think it was a mistake to end this series. But you know what, Jerry Seinfeld is actually worth like $1 billion? I had no idea. He's still making like tens of millions of dollars off of royalty from the reruns of the show. That is remarkable. But Jerry Seinfeld, bring this back. Sign like a Netflix deal. Let's do a reboot. Let's get this thing done.
Alright guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it and we'll see you all in the next video.